I do want to thank the organization and Huff, and like he said, we kind of were going down this path, and I was hopeful that it would happen, but also was not in a hurry. Love what our organization puts out there, being part of a team. Had a chance though to potentially do a little bit more as Huff's been kind of getting me ready, and that was a pretty good transition from player to coach to head coach, and hopeful that we'll have that same transition. Also, very happy that Huff is still a part of our team and our club, and I do think we got some important pieces, and I've always felt like I've just been part of a team, and why change that? So the promotions for Brendan Mahoney to assistant GM, he's been a loyal soldier. I mean, he's been here a heck of a long time, and he's ready. And then with Cole Huffnagel and Nick Boyd on the other side, I really believe added responsibilities for them is a good thing for us as well. So we'll continue to work together. I've always believed I got the best video, best equipment, some amazing training staff. We've been working together as a group. Why change that now? But I'm excited, and I do think ultimately we want to push this thing and keep. We're happy with what we're doing, but we want to take it to the next level.
A similar question: what do you foresee the greatest challenges are, or workload challenges maybe, of doing both jobs?
Well, there's going to be things that I haven't done, maybe a different voice at meetings as well for the league-wide. I do think in the off-season a huge change. I think a lot more responsibility coming on my shoulders. And then in season, I think, you have to lean on the guys that are going to help you, and they will do a great job as well. I hope to be as involved. I love the CFL, first off. And I think it's important that the general manager, head coaches get some say in where this league is going. And I think that I have a strong voice. I am very opinionated on that, but I also believe I'm a decent listener, and I'm willing to do what's best for the league. And I do think it's important that we're all rowing in the same direction. We want what's best for the CFL. We want what's best for the Calgary Stampeders after that. And I'm excited to kind of get maybe a little bit more involved in some of the things I haven't been able to do. By saying that, I'll have to lean on my coaches a bit more. I'm fired up that I do think they're ready as well. And ultimately, just be a little bit busier in the off season and have a little bit more say in maybe mandates for the league and things that happen on more of a league level.
Can you drill into, it feels like unprecedented continuity that this franchise has compared to other teams in the CFL? Like, how has this happened that this team has been sort of a model for that?
That's kind of all I know. I've definitely been on a different path than most. Even as coaches, I've been fired a lot as a player, but never as a coach. So I remember Wally had a good quote saying, if he wasn't the GM, he would have fired the coach, because he was both. So now I get that. So that's always a positive. Now the continuity is, we got a plan, we stick with it, we trust the people, we don't micromanage. We have good players. Players win and lose games. We get good support. The ownership has changed here, but the support is still there. And I was able to meet with John Bean, and I feel like he's always been in our corner, and I'm excited to get that relationship going. I think you are judged by wins and losses and playoff success, and we got some work to do.
Dave, in terms of things that you say it's additional responsibilities, does that mean you reallocate some responsibilities among the coaching staff? Will you take on a slightly different role, or how does that all? Yeah,
we're gonna have some change in coaches as well. Unfortunately, we got some change coming, so I've got to make sure I handle that first. That's what I've been working on the most. We also understand in December there is a chance to try to keep signing your players and finding new ways to extend guys and make things work in your salary cap. The NFL window is open for these guys, so it's always a challenge. But I think our coaches will take on a bit more, and maybe we'll see. But I'm still like Huff. He's here. Huff's a resource during the season. It's just, when it comes down to, hey, you want to sign that guy for that number, now it falls on my shoulders. Huff is always kind of like there as a resource, but it's time for me to step up and make those decisions, and hopefully they work.
Can you elaborate on the coaching change? Can you elaborate on the
I haven't got that far yet, Mark, but I'm working on it, and I'm not there. There will be there's some things going on, and there's jobs available at other positions, and you can see it's been kind of a crazy off season, crazier in other spots than ours, but Fine Sean right there for his phone being on. But
You do that as GM now.
I'll pay it.
yeah, it's only $70. It's not too much. No, there's going to be changes. There always will be, but it hasn't finalized yet because some of the other jobs aren't finalized.
Do you plan to call plays still?
I haven't really got there yet, Justin, but I think you got to do what's best for the team, and I don't think your ego can get involved in certain things. So, but I do feel like I've talked over some scenarios. Also, personnel-wise, how can I keep being involved with the coaches and maybe give them a little bit more platform? But I like what I've got. Huff's still good at that, and we're not really changing much with Cole. He's our head of our U.S. scouting, does a great job, and Brendan taking control. Dwayne Cameron gets involved in the Canadian draft. So we've got a lot of pieces in place. Just keep the train going in the same direction.
What's
Hey,
the most
how much
exciting
great-
part for you?
For me?
Becoming a GM. Is there something to gravitate to that says this is going to be thrilling for me? This is going to be a challenge, a fun thing.
No, I just got to be cautious. I like to hear myself talk, so I definitely got to be cautious of understanding. Listen first. Go in with an idea that there are some changes, but let's listen. Talk to some other people, some good people in the league, and see. I mean, there are some resources out there, some good people that I know, but we'll have league meetings, and Huff and myself, and I think Jay McNeil will be there from our organization. We'll have a chance in January to kind of sit down and have a vision for what we think hopefully will make our league better, which hopefully makes our league stronger, and ultimately our club hopefully more successful.
Dave, how much of a great mentor has Huff been for you? Are you prepared for this role?
Yeah, he's been my number one mentor. I mean, Wally is a guy that I do lean on as well, but Huff's been my day to day. I mean, when I got in the league in '96, he was here. He's been very honest with me. Like he says, I heard him say we have the same vision. We are different people, but certainly have the same type of vision, and it's more about setting a standard and holding people to it and hold yourself to it. Just keep working, always looking forward, never looking back. So the things that he's taught me, but we are different people, but we have that same vision, which makes it a little bit easier.
Speaking to that vision, Dave, Huff always said two things about his time as a general manager. One, you'd never be the highest paid player at your position as a Stampeder, and two, there weren't deals to be found on day one of free agency. How do you look at both of those philosophies? Do you see yourself continuing in that kind of vein?
I mean, listen, I'm never going to put a never say never thing. If you got the best player, you might have to do something. You might have to put that money on there. I do think football is based on team. It's based on a group of people coming together for a common goal. It's a little bit more difficult to shape a roster when you're out of whack sometimes on the top end. I'm open for free agency, though. I think there's other good players in the league. I'll always be loyal to our guys, but you got to understand. You're always looking to upgrade, and my main thing, and I think anyone that's been around me understands, I'm pretty brutally honest in the sense that I'll tell you something maybe that you don't want to hear. I'm not going to argue with you. It's just my opinion, but as of now, my opinion carries a little bit more weight, and I feel like the guys understand what I'm about. Never negotiated a contract. I guess I do the coaches now, but I've never negotiated a contract with the players, and I feel like I will leave that to the other guys and then have an understanding, and if I need to get involved, I get involved. And I think Huff's operated that way. I'm looking forward to meeting the agents. I know that's probably not something that's said very often from coaches, but you have to have relationships with these people. And, my agent passed away, 10, 12 years ago. Those guys, they're doing their job. They're trying to help their client, and I think if you treat them as men, that's the key. And they have to know that nothing's changed here. That we have our plan. We have the things we want to do, and ultimately, hopefully, we keep getting the job done.
The Stamps are used to being in first and being in that West Final. The last 3 years, I think, first-round playoff exits. I tried to ask Huff this question, but in a
Yeah, I heard
way.
the response too.
Yeah, in a respectful way, though. Did that factor into this change at all?
In my opinion, he's saying like, why are you making a change on something? I don't really think it's any different, but you are judged by your performance. I'm comfortable with that, and we need to break through. And we just got to understand that it's a long process and a long road, and you really can't look to that and just say, hey, this game is the only game that matters, because you got to play each and every one of them. and they all matter. We try to win each and every game. The whole thing, though, is you got to continue to get better as a coach. And now, if you're going to get into the management side, you got to try to do the best job you can and find ways to make your team better. And that's basically all we're doing. Huff's still around, but like you said, he's earned the right to play some golf in Arizona in the off season. He's earned the right to go fishing, and I think he should do that. And I'm always going to lean on him, and he's here. But ultimately, there will be a time when he completely steps away. That's just not in the present at this time.
You talked about being excited to talk to agents. Are you excited for the opportunity to interact with more general managers around the league?
We know each other pretty well anyway, and I guess I got to temper that excited to talk to agents. I'm looking forward to developing relationships with the agents. But there's some really good people in our league, and we talk anyway. Rick's doing it over there in BC, and Jonesy's up doing it there. I've played with Jeremy O'Day. I know him well. Kyle's got his gig, doing a great job. Not quite sure how it plays out in Toronto after this, but pinball's always been outstanding. And the guys in Hamilton do it as a unit. A great job. Love Sean Burke. I think he's doing his thing, and obviously Danny will take over in Montreal over there. So the people that are in place, great people. We've all I think we're here for the right reasons. None of us are necessarily going to be able to retire on the near horizon. So I look forward to working with them, and ultimately it's just about trying to make the Stampeders better.
Does Dave, the GM, want to bet back up for Jake Mayer, or are you happy with Tommy Stevens?
Well, I'll always take good football players, but I like to build from within. I do. Jake hit me up this morning back down in Cali, and ultimately there's change. There has been change in the Stampeders. I feel like you always want to have good players in competition. I don't think any position needs to be just coming into training camp believing that they got the world figured out. Jake's our guy, but do I want to have another quality candidate there? Yes.
You value continuity on your roster, so how busy is December, January going to be as you try and get guys re-signed before that February opens up?
We have to push it a bit, but we have to understand there's two sides to it, and you have a plan, and when that plan works, great, but if it don't, you just move forward and you flip the coin over and you go to a different direction, and you're ready for that when it happens. And it's kind of somewhat like playing fantasy football, because you're always thinking, okay, what if this happens? What for this budget? And you're ready, but you also make sure you're loyal to the people that are loyal to you. The guys that are in-house, to me, always get first shot at it. Those are my guys, and hopefully we can keep them.
Coming out of last season, is there a position group that you expect will get more attention from you in the upcoming offseason?
No, it's always, to be honest, we're super young, and our vets, though, had some amazing years. And there's always tough decisions. It's harder for me to look at a vet and not maybe commit to that person 100%. But as long as in my opinion, you just tell them what you think and what you believe, and they'll argue with you and tell you you're wrong. But I think you still look at them in the eye and you try to say, hey, if it can make it work for both parties, let's do that. So I like our team. That's why I was so frustrated that we weren't able to make noise in the playoffs. I think we were getting better. I think our team was working. We had great chemistry. But ultimately, we got to keep working to find those right pieces so we can get it done in the playoffs.
Sorry, Dave.
One more question,
This
Dave?
completely escaped me. Where are you contractually in your term?
Yeah, so Huff and I, like he said, this has all been done last year. So this is contractually has been done. It just didn't kick in till now.
Like last year?
Everything about it.
Was
Yeah, it
3
was.
years?
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
just added with responsibilities.
Okay.
So we're. I don't want to be naive, and you still have to get it done each and every year. That's the bottom line. Don't ever think you're comfortable. You got to get it done each and every year.